Today on Prime Male Evolution, we're diving deep into one of the biggest silent disasters facing our generation, the infamous mating crisis. Gen Z is struggling to form relationships at historic lows. Marriage rates have collapsed. Birth rates are plummeting across the West. Millions of young men and women are single, lonely, and checking out. This isn't just kids these days. This is what happens when our ancient evolutionary mating psychology collides with modern inventions like the pill, the intimacy revolution, novel boomer ideologies, dating apps, social media, and decades of broken incentives. Let's break it down. For most of human history, marriage wasn't optional. It was a practical necessity. Men needed wives to manage the home while they were farming, hunting, building, or fighting in wars. Women needed husbands for protection and provision. Social norms, limited contraception, and real consequences for casual intimacy kept the genders working together. Then the rules changed. The intimacy revolution, the pill, no-fault divorce, welfare expansions, and modern versions of the novel boomer ideologies dismantled the old system. Women gained the ability to have, seemingly, consequence-free bedroom activities, delay marriage and children for careers, and still receive support if things fell apart. Marriage shifted from a practical partnership to a purely emotional choice. Combined with female hypergamy, women's deeply rooted natural preference for higher status, more dominant, higher-earning men, this created chaos. On dating apps, women rate the vast majority of men as unattractive. Data shows they're primarily engaging only with the top 4 to 5% of men, with a sharp clustering towards the top 1–2%. This top-tier pool of men has endless options and often spin plates, while average men get little to no attention. College enrollment is now roughly 60% female, and the trend keeps going in the same direction. The gap has been widening for decades and is especially pronounced in certain fields. For instance, education, health sciences, public administration, often 75 to 80% plus female. Women out-earn men in many major U.S. cities. More women than men are homeowners. Yet most women still refuse to date down in status, education, or income. The mismatch is brutal. Average men earning solid middle-class wages, $50K to $65K in trades or regular careers, are increasingly invisible. To many modern women, influenced by social media and luxury influencers, these hardworking men simply don't exist as potential long-term partners unless they're either in the top 4% in terms of looks, hit multiple six-figure salaries, and can provide an Instagram lifestyle. Hypergamy, which was always part of female nature, is now on steroids. Women in their late 20s and early 30s who spent their prime years engaging short-term with a series of partners and career chasing suddenly hit the wall and panic, wondering where all the good men went, completely blind to the fact that the high-value men they desired have abundant options with younger women. After this video, go check out my video on the two walls in dating for a deeper dive into that phenomenon. Add in social media algorithms that amplify the top men, certain types of websites that pacify average men, and popular culture that pushes casual bedroom gymnastics, you-go-girl independence, and mocks traditional gender roles. The natural polarity between the masculine and the feminine has been severely eroded. We simply aren't wired by nature to mate in this artificial environment. The novel boomer ideologies sold women a dangerous lie. Hopped up on mind-altering hormones, do the downtown stampede in your prime years, focus on career and self, complete the extensive sampling period without biochemical or psychological consequences, then settle down with a high-value man who will overlook your past. You've got time, girl, slay! Biology doesn't care about novel boomer ideologies or feelings. Pair bonding weakens with more partners. Fertility drops sharply after 30. The wall is real. Men see the rigged game. Why commit when divorce laws, family courts, alimony, and child support are stacked against you? Why work hard to provide when she can leave and take half? The economy makes it worse. Rising housing costs, stagnant wages for average working-class men, DEI, wokeness, and a service economy that favors women leave many men feeling unable to compete as providers. This is the mating crisis. Ancient instincts clashing with a hyper-individualistic, consequence-free marketplace for horizontal activities shaped by decades of policy and cultural shifts. The result is crashing birth rates, mass immigration, widespread loneliness, and a civilization slowly losing its will to continue. Most men are not stupid. They see the rigged game clearly. Why bust your ass providing when women demand traditional benefits while offering nothing traditional in return? Why commit when no-fault divorce, biased courts, and alimony can destroy you financially? Why be forced to accept past behaviors that make your skin crawl? A growing number of men are opting out entirely, focusing on self-improvement, going passport bro, or refusing to play a game where the downside risk is catastrophic and the upside is minimal. The novel boomer ideologies told women they could have it all without consequences. The result is a generation of women with inflated delusional standards, weakened pair bonding, double-digit pasts, trauma, toxic exes, chronic FOMO, and declining fertility who are shocked when high-value men won't wife them up after years of casual dating. The data doesn't lie. Women initiate 70% of divorces, 90% in marriages where the woman is college-educated, yet they still expect men to take all the risk. This is not sustainable, so what do? Men, stop playing a rigged game by someone else's rules. If you're in the bottom 90% of men, be honest, you most likely are. Never use dating apps, IRL only. Never simp, never pay for fake affection. Focus ruthlessly on self-improvement. I know I sound like a broken record on this, but lift heavy weights, build your body, your money, your mission, and your frame. Become high value. Understand female nature without resentment. Set strong standards and enforce boundaries. Many men are opting out through purpose, passport strategies, or self-focus. That's understandable, but knowledge is power. Navigate the market with your eyes wide open. If enough men put their foot down and stop accepting the behaviors we've been seeing since the 1960s, our culture will eventually change into one that's more in line with our innate nature. For society, we need to restore balance, reform divorce and family law, remove penalties on marriage, push back against anti-family messaging, and revive healthy gender roles. Early marriage and family formation should once again become the norm. Brother, the mating crisis didn't happen by accident. It's the predictable outcome of decades of bad incentives and denial of human nature. Don't wait for the world to fix itself. Build yourself into the kind of man who thrives no matter what. Strong, purposeful, and clear-eyed about how attraction actually works. If this video hit hard, drop a comment. How has the mating crisis affected you or the men around you? Share this with a brother who needs to wake up. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're here to rebuild. This is Prime Male Evolution. You're in your prime. Act like it.